Hello, this is Dr. Sergey, Medical Director of the Shealy-Sorin Wellness Institute. And today's topic is, why won't the medical industry heal the root cause of disease? The pharma medical establishment is the number one cause of death due to their failure to inform the patient about the truth related to health. There was an article printed in the Journal of American Medical Association, JAMA, by Dr. Barbara Starfield of the Johns Hopkins School of Hygiene and Public Health, which reported up to 225,000 deaths per year in the United States as a direct result of treatment by a physician, from issues such as misdiagnosis of the ailment to adverse reactions due to medications and surgeries to treat the illness. In other words, when the cure is worse than disease. In fact, the public is unable to access this information on the American Medical Association website, and it's labeled restricted. Therefore, you cannot get any information. For this reason, the establishment is responsible, directly or indirectly, but still responsible for every death involving disease, which may have been prevented or healed had the patient been properly informed and educated. This is largely due to the establishment's dissemination of misinformation, false information about the true health, which is a direct violation of the doctor-patient relationship based on trust, and, very importantly, the Hippocratic Oath, which I remember taking very seriously, and I still do 20 years ago and moving forward. Probably the greatest technological advance in modern medicine today is indeed the treatment of the acute or crisis situations, such as emergency room, and otherwise. Surgical procedures have been developed that accomplish miraculous results compared to decades ago. Where would we be, for example, without a skilled emergency room providers, including myself, if and when there is an accident or an acute medical condition, such as heart attack, stroke, accident, or otherwise? Emergency treatment can indeed be life-saving when used appropriately. Also, the diagnosis is also very highly capable in the current medical system. Unfortunately, we have been conditioned to depend on drugs and surgery to correct the majority of our dis-ease, lack of ease, which is something called disease in the medical system, and conditions. The need for most surgeries and procedures and drugs could certainly be avoided in the first place if the patient was allowed to continue the health pattern and not to deteriorate for decades due to misinformation and complete lack of prevention. Most doctors practicing today, regardless of their fields, whether it's ophthalmology, cardiology, or otherwise, are wonderful, caring individuals who want to do the right thing. It is the entrenched profit-based policies of the establishment system which are to blame for this miserable track record of the modern conventional medicine. Not necessarily the doctors, even though there's always individuals of some sort in every profession and every field. The philosophy is the imposed will of the big pharma, including education and continued medical education, which is very narrow based on pharmaceutical pattern. More and more people do not have the energy they need to get through the day, while millions of others are suffering from chronic and degenerative diseases. Millions more are awaiting diagnoses that they have not had yet, but they will, because of the fact that the overwhelming majority of the population are experiencing cellular starvation. I'll say it again, cellular starvation and premature aging. No matter how much food you consume. But there are natural healing alternatives that are highly effective. The term phytonutrient is derived from the Greek word phyto, meaning plant, and nutrient, therefore plant nutrients. It's a constituent of the food, vital for physiological function. Phytonutrients are biologically active compounds in plant-derived foods that elicit biological activity in the body. Phytonutrients are necessary, essential, for the optimum health due to their vast array of cellular function and needs. Phytonutrients stimulate, including our immune system and the natural detoxification systems in the body. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, phytonutrients may serve as antioxidants, enhance immune response, enhance cell-to-cell communications, cause cancer cells to die, and also repair DNA damage. And these are just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more to this. All this while the pharma medical establishment is pretending, I'll say this again, pretending to be in search of the cure, quote unquote. And our doctors are sending us home with more and more prescriptions, synthetic drugs, which are toxic and do not address the root cause of the disease and cure virtually nothing in the chronic setting. The prevention of and the healing of the majority of the degenerative diseases and conditions alike is actually already known. It's not a secret. The elimination and preferably the prevention of majority of the degenerative diseases and chronic conditions is the consistent daily ingestion of a comprehensive, full spectrum of disease-fighting plant-derived bioactive substances, components, in sufficient amounts, while avoiding exposure to the harmful compounds in our food, as well as in the synthetics, including medicines and drugs, which are frequently approved by FDA without difficulty. It is the very existence of this natural and powerful spectrum of healing which exposes the farce of the search for the cure by the drug industry. And that's their image. Read more about this in the book, The Code of Life. In this book, you'll learn more about the full spectrum of age and disease-fighting bioactive phytonutrients, which is the universal spectrum of life. Use this book as a foundation for your health, wellness, and recovery. And stay tuned for more wellness information and more content. Blessings. Dr. Sergey-Sorin.